it's always something, isn't it? That's not supposed to do that. That's right, she's smoking, but it came off. All right, we're changing the clutch today in the Vista Blue KR. It's gonna be Sabrina's car when she turns 16, so she's gonna be helping me, and then going to force Brock also, just because I'm his dad. So I've already removed everything while they were in school. Got the transmission out. The flex plate is still up there. Still have to take that out. Pilot bearing still in there, so Sabrina's gonna do that. And I'm gonna have Brock bleed the throw out hydraulic bearing while we're doing that. Hopefully we get it done today. The clutch was properly used. Barely go into reverse. Wouldn't really change gears half the time. So, nice and hot spots everywhere, but we're gonna do that today. Hopefully it goes in much easier than it came out. All right, Brock, so this is the, I don't know, I think it's called the pilot bearing. On the older cars, that's what it's called. The clutch goes right here, and it grabs onto these teeth. And this will be back like this, and then when you push in the clutch, it'll push it forward. And that releases the clutch, so the transmission will spin freely. But this is a hydraulic one, so we need to bleed it first. So I'm gonna have you do this. This is brake bleeder. I forgot to get brake fluid, so we may not have enough. This is what the clutch is bolted to right here. These bolts right here. And it sits up against here. And when you don't push on the clutch with your foot, the clutch is laying against this right here. This is why this is all scratched up. And see how it's blue and red and stuff? Yeah. That's a sign that the clutch is done good. So, we're gonna be replacing this too, but we also have to replace this pilot bearing, which is right here. If you don't replace this, it'll start squeaking and stuff when it gets old. And so you'd have to take the entire transmission out again. So whenever you replace the clutch or anything like that, whenever you're in here, always replace all the bearings at the same time, so you don't have to go back in there later and do it. So this is a pilot bearing pooler. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put these little, look like little teeth. We're gonna put them inside the pilot bearing. And these blocks are gonna sit up against the bolts, and we're gonna screw this in until it pops the pilot bearing out. All right? Okay. Now I'm gonna have you do that, okay? Okay. And these edges are sitting flush. And then I'm gonna just start screwing this. And as I screw that, it's gonna force those teeth out inside the pilot bearing. And it's gonna slowly pull the pilot bearing out. Oh, this thing isn't the best here. There's actually another way you could do that with bread. Oh. But that's a little bit harder. I said I was gonna have you do this, but it's pretty tough here. All right, so that pilot bearing is being really difficult. So we're gonna take the pressure plate off just in case there's a lip. I doubt there's a lip. Just in case there's a lip there, keeping that pilot bearing in. So what I need you to do is, this is the impact. Just put it on one of these bolts like this. It's pretty heavy. All you have to do is pull the trigger, all right? It comes out just like that. Okay. So I want you to go around and remove all those bolts. Okay. starting to come now. So see how I put those 2 bolts in there to keep this brace in place so it doesn't spin? Well, it's either gonna come out or it's gonna break the tool. What did we do? Did it break the tool? No, but it definitely didn't come out. All right, Brock, shut off. All right, so that wonderful tool that's supposed to make everything easier broke. So we're gonna do it the old-fashioned way with some bread, hot dog buns. Just shove them in there. And then if you get hungry halfway through, you got something to eat too. All right, where'd that? I can't. Man, I lose everything.
What are you looking for?
I don't know. I didn't find it, but this will work just as well. So, you get some bread, you stick it in there, and then you pound it in this hole. The trick is, well, the first trick is hot dog buns work best. The second trick is find a tool that's as close to the same size as your hole as possible. That way when you're pounding it in, it doesn't come around your tool, all right? So that was almost a half a hot dog bun. I think it's gonna take 2 hot dog buns. See, what it's doing is it's going in there, but what you can't see on the other side of this, the throwout bearing, not the throwout bearing, pilot bearing, is there's a little more room behind this on a lip, so as you're pushing this bread down, it's gonna be pushing against the other side of that pilot bearing, trying to push it out. See, this is something you'd never learned in a manual. This is how you do it when you don't have the right tools, or you break the right tools. I don't know, I think that was a $60, $80 tool, or a 5-cent hot dog bun, you know. If you don't got the money for the right tool, that's gonna break on you anyways, go buy a hot dog bun.
The more you know.
Yep. I like the hot dog bun because it's got a little bit more of this crust on there, so it holds together better. All right. There she's out. See that? You got it?
Yeah.
So it's gonna sit on the back. This is the back of your crankshaft right here, all right? So this is the side that we saw, and we tried to get our tool to go in there and bring it out, and of course it's junk. It's probably made in China, and it broke. So what we did was stick a bunch of bread in there. The bread went up against the back of the engine and then grabbed onto the edge right here and pushed it out. So all this right here is bread. So now what we do is gotta get your bread out. See? not even a full hot dog bun. Put a little brake cleaner in there. And put the new one, the new pilot bearing in. As soon as we get it out of the mail. Hopefully it's in there. All right, now what we're gonna do is, while we're waiting for that part to get ready, we're gonna change the hydraulic clutch hose. So the one that's on there is plastic or rubber. This one is braided with metal, so it's gonna be much stronger. Clutch is gonna feel much better. If you look down there, you see where that clutch cable goes into the firewall. It's got that. I'm gonna have to take off the AC condenser to get close to that. All I want you to do, Sabrina, is go around and tighten these.
Okay.
And you're not gonna go in a big circle. You're gonna, so let's say you tighten this one, and then you tighten that one, and you tighten this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. We have to torque them. We have to torque them to make sure that the right pressure here. So this is a torque wrench, and we do it until it clicks. We know it's done. Oh, so we just go until it clicks. See that? Hear that click? That means that one's good. So then I'll move over here. Can you get it? There you go. All right. Let's try this one. There you go. Oh, gotta make sure it's on the bolt all the way. All right. So now we're gonna start putting the clutch together. This is what holds the clutches on. You wanna make sure you put these in the right order. Otherwise it's going to, oh my goodness, are you kidding me? So it goes on there, especially with multiple clutches, if you don't have it in the right order, right, facing the right way, everything gets screwed up. So that goes on. That's the first clutch. All right, and this little bracket goes in between the two clutches. Oops. And they made this little blue line for us to make sure we put it all in the right orientation, all right? After the floater, which is what this is, so we have the flywheel, a clutch plate, a floater. Now we're gonna do another clutch. All right. All right, this is gonna be the hardest part. All right, so it's the next day. We had to take a break after we literally almost died. We were putting the transmission in the car. Had to raise it up to get the transmission in there. And as we're starting to lower it back down, one side went down, the other side would not. So we came into a pretty big problem. And so when I tried to raise it up, this cheap Chinese built lift, it's supposed to hold like 7,000 pounds. I don't know if I have the name of it here. Here we go. So once it gets off kilter just a little bit, there's apparently no valving in there to make sure the pressure is equal on both sides. So once there's more weight on one side than the other, when you try to lift it back up to even it out, it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse and worse. So at one point, one of the front tires were on the ground and one of the back tires were about 3 feet in the air. And I think we didn't film it, but I think we have a picture, and this wasn't the worst point for sure. So how I ended up fixing it was the part that was really low, I put floor jacks underneath it so it wouldn't go any lower. And then I just kept raising and lowering until it finally evened out.
I just finished it. In a second. Oh, that's not fair.
That's as tight as I can get it.
Well, that's not fair.
The second you get under, I finish.
Yeah.
Oops. We're done. You can crawl out now.
We're done?
Not completely done, but done with this part.
Oh, man.
I mean, I don't know if we're gonna fix it all.
Hey, we just fixed my car. We got it down off the hydraulic things, but we unfortunately can't test drive it because there is a whole bunch of snow. But what we're doing is we're moving the KRs around so they both fit in the garage.